Good morning, Year 6. Today's guided reading is going to come from a section of the text that we've previously read as a daily read. We're going to have a really detailed look at that piece of the text, and you're going to answer some comprehension questions on that. Now, in order to see the text, I'm going to bring the book up here. Now, you can pause the video here, read this page of the text, or these 2 pages of the book, and then I would like you to pause the video on this page and read these 2 sections of pages of the book as well. So you've got 4 pages of the book, 2 screenshots of the book to read. Now, if you're really struggling with that and you're getting stuck on some of the vocabulary, then if you skip to the end of this video, then I will read this section of the book to you. But to answer the questions, you'll need to flick back to these 2 pages and pause the video in the appropriate places. So the questions that I want you to focus on today are these questions here. So what 2 signs does Ted look for to see if someone is bored? Now, the answer to all of these questions is within those 4 pages or the 2 screens that you can pause this video on. How does Ted know that Salim isn't bored? Question 3, I've given you a statement. So I've said Salim didn't want anyone to hear his phone conversation. Now, can you give me evidence from the book that that statement is true? Question 4, which word is used as a synonym for the long queue? So within that text somewhere, there is a word that is used to describe the queue that is a synonym, okay? Can you think what a synonym is? Okay, so a synonym is a word that means the same, has the same meaning, okay? And question 5, another statement, Salim is a popular person back in Manchester. Now this time I want you to say whether you agree or disagree with me and give some evidence. So you could make either point, but you must back it up with some evidence. Okay, so if you don't want to listen to me read the text, you can pause the video on the questions, flick back to the points where you can see the text on your screen and get on with it. If you do want to listen to me reading, then we will have a look at that now. I stared at the tube map of London. It is a topological map. A topological map is a very simplified map, not to scale, with no relation to the real distances. The stop stand for places where you can get on or off, or sometimes change trains, and these are ordered into straight lines with junctions, whereas in reality they are all higgledy-piggledy. If I'd been next to Slim, I would have talked about different kinds of map and explained how topological maps could never be confused with topographical maps, but when I looked over to where Salim was sitting, Kat was showing him the silver nail polish on her fingernails and asking him about his social life, which is the thing she always talks about. I tried to see if he was bored. When people are bored, Mr. Shepherd says the muscles in their face don't do anything and they stare without really looking, and he says I should always check to see if this is how people are looking when I talk to them. Salim was laughing and nudging Kat, so I deduced that he was not bored, although I would have been. We got out on Embankment Station so that we could walk over to one of the Golden Jubilee bridges and see the view. The sky was blue, the river was grey, the eye was white. The capsules moved so slowly they hardly seemed to move at all. Halfway across the Thames, Salim took an old-fashioned camera, the kind where you have to use a film, from his pocket. That's an interesting camera, Salim, Kat said. My mum gave it to me for going to New York. I wanted a digital one, but she says this kind will make a better photographer of me in the long run. Then he snapped at everything in sight, including one of me and Kat together, with the London Eye behind us. After he clicked, his mobile phone rang with its James Bond theme tune. He leaned over the bridge's rail and spoke into it like a spy on a 00 mission, as if he didn't want anyone to overhear. That phone of yours, Aunt Gloria said, and when he'd finished the call and folded the mobile away. Who was it this time? Just another friend, Salim said, calling from Manchester to say goodbye. Let's keep going, we're running late. Late for what, Salim? I asked. Late for the wheel. You can't be late for the London Eye, I said. It turns all day long, 2 times an hour, every hour, until after dark. Big Ben donged 11 o'clock as we reached the ticket queue, which was very long. The two mums groaned. It's infinite, Mum said. No, it's not, I said. Infinity? Why don't we come back later and go to the tape first, Aunt Gloria said. You promised, Salim shouted. He stamped his foot and his eyebrows went down over his eyes. Salim's right, Mum said. We did promise, Glow. Let's stick to last night's plan. Here, Cat, take this. She handed Cat some money in large notes. You get the tickets and Gloria and I will sit at a cafe over there and wait. When you've got them, we'll join you in the queue. Cat's eyes went large and round as she took the money. She put it carefully away in her leopard skin backpack. Then she, Salim and I found the end of the ticket queue and joined in. A lady in front asked the lady in front of her if she knew how long the wait was, and the lady 2 people up the queue said it was half an hour to get tickets and another half an hour to board. A whole hour, Cat groaned. Maybe that is too long. Okay, so make sure you are completing those questions. And again, I look forward to seeing your work later on Class Dojo.